It's runtime, and today is Wednesday, September 10th, so here is everything that happened in Indian tech in the last 24 hours. First of all, OpenAI and Reliance are reportedly in talks to bring OpenAI's $500 billion Stargate project to India. These talks have been ongoing for the last 6 months or so, with the focus of the conversation apparently being on installed capacity of data centers and power availability, but OpenAI is also talking to other data center providers like Sifi Technologies and Yotta Data Services. Now, speaking of Yotta, they're going to be investing $1.5 billion to add 8,000 NVIDIA Blackwell B200 GPUs to their capacity, and these GPUs are expected to go live between December 2025 and January 2026. And largely this is because India's AI industry is growing very quickly, and so startups, IITs, and research institutions that are working on large language models need more GPUs. And it's worth keeping in mind that Yotta still hasn't finished deploying its first batch of 8,000 GPUs, most of which are already being used by Socket AI and Sadavam AI under the India AI mission. Socket is building an open source foundation model for India's linguistic diversity, and Sadavam said that they're actually planning to roll out India's first large language model in early 2026. And a big part of the reason why they've been able to do this is the fact that they've secured 4,096 H100s through Yotta. Also, thanks to the India AI mission, Sadavam has been able to take advantage of 99 crore rupees in subsidies. That's out of India AI's total disbursement of 111 crore rupees. So Sadavam is definitely the largest beneficiary of this. Now, 4,096 GPUs may sound like a big number, but India's total GPU capacity right now has increased massively in 2025. India has gone from 18,417 GPUs at the beginning of the year to 34,333 GPUs now. Now, speaking of localization, UK smartphone brand Nothing is doubling down on India, not just as a market to sell to, but actually as a place to produce smartphones too. One of the company's founders, Akis Evangelidis, said that Nothing views India today as China was a decade ago. And so Nothing plans to scale manufacturing of wearables in India. They also want to expand the operations of one of their sub-brands, CMF, from India as well. And it's also worth noting that in India, Nothing recorded 146% year-over-year shipment growth in Q2, making it India's fastest growing smartphone brand. And Akis Evangelidis credited the Make in India initiative for strengthening India's manufacturing ecosystem. All right, next up, Paras Chopra's AI residency program, which was originally called Turing's Dream, has completed its first year under the new name LosFunk. Over the past year, this independent AI lab has published its first paper at ACL Vienna. It's hosted weekly tech talks that grew its YouTube channel, and it's built a community of more than 150 members working on more than 20 active research projects. All right, next up, the residency has a new home. Their first location was an HSR layout in Bengaluru, but now they've kicked off a new cohort, and it's at Zoe House in Koramangala. And here's what the space looks like. So this is the residency's 6th cohort in India, and we don't know all that much about the residents just yet, but obviously this is a very cool space to be hosting the residency from, and we'll keep you posted on what we know about what people are building in the residency once we find out about it. All right, next up, Starlink is going to start satellite internet trials in India. They've secured all of the necessary approvals, they've allocated trial bandwidth, they've also finalized 17 sites for ground stations, and they're in advanced talks right now with Jio, Airtel, Tata Communications, and major data center operators too, like Sifi, STT, Equinix, and Control S. Now, this is an expensive initiative for Starlink. The initial capex here is around 500 crore rupees, but this is what's required, right? The ground stations will route and store downlink traffic locally so that Starlink is compliant with Indian regulations. And then finally, a new US bill called HIRE, that's the Halting International Relocation of Employment Act, which aims to impose a 25% tax on outsourced jobs, would probably cause catastrophic issues for Indian IT firms. 50 to 60% of their revenue now comes from North America, and the United States makes up a massive chunk of this. And so this would squeeze margins, it would slow down new contracts, and result in a lot of clients just renegotiating deals or walking away from deals with Indian IT companies altogether. Now, of course, this is exactly what Donald Trump wants, but it'll definitely have massive implications here in India. But anyways, that is all of the Indian tech news that I have for you all from the last 24 hours. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to join our exclusive WhatsApp community, all you have to do is DM the Runtime account on X, and we'll send you access basis. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're building. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.